My name is Jon Welch, and welcome to the 7th episode of The Vault on the Then and Now Blading YouTube channel. The Vault is my collection of VHS-C, Hi-8, and mini DV tapes that I filmed throughout the years. Each episode of The Vault features footage from one of those tapes with my commentary over it. In this episode, we go back to 2013 when we were filming for the 4x4 video Leading the Blind. This episode features the skating of Jon Elliott, Brian Shima, and Chris Haffey, all filmed around the San Diego, California area. I hope you enjoy this episode, and if you do, make sure and hit the like button. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon to be notified of all new uploads. Also follow me on social media. I have links to my Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter in the description below. Consider supporting this channel through my Patreon page. Patreon members get exclusive access to videos and content that won't be on this YouTube channel. Recently, I uploaded one of my old videos called America's Army. It's the third video I ever made, and it was released in 1997. It has profiles on John Farmer and Jason Howard. It has skating for myself, Champion Baumstimmer, Aaron Feinberg, Robert Guerrero, Jason Reduta, Mike Shields, and lots of other skaters from around Texas, California, Oregon, Washington, Tennessee. It's a pretty cool blast to the past of some of my old work, and it's definitely an interesting video. And you can join Patreon for as little as $3 to have access to that video and all other videos I put up in the future. I'm going to be putting up all my old videos and lots of B-roll that I've been collecting that's going to be going up soon. I'd like to give a shout out to my newest Patreon supporters, and a big thank you goes to David Nielsen, Mark Howald, Darren Gordon, Del Tan, Zach Rowan, Eric Vandenhagel, Tim Hauk, and Trent Ikasa. I really appreciate you guys for supporting this channel through the Patreon page. And there's a link to my Patreon in the description below. You can check it out there. Let's get started with episode 7 of The Vault. Alright, the first spot on this tape is Scripps Memorial Hospital. I'm not sure which location this is. I don't believe it's the one by my old house in Hillcrest, but it is one of the hospitals, and there's a park garage. Oh, and you might remember this clip from the intro of Chris Haffey section in Leading the Blind. And boom, little pull tap. Laced it. That was it for that spot. Pretty gnarly. Now we've got Jon Elliott. This is downtown San Diego. I don't know what spot or what streets this is on anymore, but little disaster.
Holy mackerels. Jon did a trick.
Little disaster to flat rail, butt crack action. Super steezy. You got this. He's got that Project Portman hat. That was a really cool brand by Apollo. Not sure what happened to it, but we all liked that brand back then. Another angle of Jon's trick. Laces it. And that's it for Jon Elliott. Now we are moving on to the San Diego Civic Center. This is in downtown San Diego. And the Civic Center has a lot of spots throughout the area. It also has a parking garage that's a spiral. So we go there, bomb that spiral. Is pretty gnarly. But this spot is pretty sick. Little line spot. Chris Haffey. This line is actually being filmed by Brian Shima right now. Chris Haffey and Brian Shima did a lot of solo, Chris Haffey and Brian did a lot of sessions just between the two of them. So they would film each other, they would get juiced off each other. It made it a little bit harder because only one person was skating at a time. But, you know, it was the era of business blading, and Chris and Brian knew how to handle business when it came to skating. Like, you know, they got out and got the clips. Came home with some cool footage. And this spot is just super rad. I mean, oh, so sick. One thing about this spot is it's like, I believe it's Broadway, or I'm not sure. It's one of the main streets downtown, and it has a lot of pedestrians on the other side of that ledge. So if you're not paying attention, you could potentially fall and land on somebody if you come off the ledge early, or, you know, like, so it definitely would have been better to have a spotter, which usually we did. And you'll see this is one day, and this is gonna move on to the same spot, but the following day, where I'm filming, and Jon Elliott is there too watching, and it's Brian and Chris, and you'll see they're wearing different shirts. You could tell this is the very beginning of 4x4 because Chris has that one of the first 4x4 shirts, which is that flag 4x4 logo shirt. And in the next session, he's going to be wearing the shirt I made, the Brian Shima Cleaning Up the Industry shirt, which was a photo I had shot, and then just turned into a shirt. And it was a photo of him wearing a 4x4 shirt, flicking off the camera, and then it became a photo of a 4x4 shirt. So it was like a shirt within a shirt. And it was pretty cool, and it was a very popular item. This shirt here is funny because we only made the ones with the U.S. flag in it, but I saw that shirt all across the world with different flags in it from different countries because they were all bootlegged all over the place. So there's definitely a lot of bootleg 4x4 shirts out there. So steezy. Such a cool trick. Look at that. Oh, and then a little glitch. One little glitch, but it was towards the end of the rollaway, so it's not too bad. Alright, this is the following day I was talking about. There's John rocking his Caspa shirt from Jeremy Baytall, our 4x4 artist and one of our favorite dudes in the sport. I'm trying to get him on this podcast, on the Dead and Outblading podcast. Hopefully soon. He said he would do it, but we haven't connected yet, so that needs to happen ASAP. I was wrong. Chris is not wearing the flag shirt. He's actually wearing the Ground Control Jimmy Page shirt. And Shima's wearing the Ground Control Airship shirt. Both of those shirts were designed by Chris Peel. Chris Peel was my very first guest on the Dead and Now Blading podcast. If you missed that episode, go back and check it out. Awesome artist, and he did all the branding for 4x4 Vicious, Ground Control, NIM, and Rat Tail, and Big Wheel Blading, and SSM. So, not SSM, but NIM. So yeah, check out his interview. Very interesting. Oh. That's gnarly. I always wanted to see Haffey Royale up, over, and down that thing. I think he could have done it. Had he been pulled by, say, a scooter or something, he probably could have done that. And I'm sure somebody could do that. I'm not sure what the status is, if this spot or building is even there, or if it's capped. No idea. I haven't been back to San Diego since 2014, and I am sure it has changed an insane amount. Oh. Back Royale. So close to getting up to the top. That's such a cool spot. You might remember a spot from, I think it was the 4x4 video. Oh, look at that. All the way up and flat. Oh my god. See, he could just go all the way up and flat and down if he had enough speed. So you might remember a spot where Brian Shima threw his skates and he said he quit rollerblading. Well, this is the same spot, and that bridge back there is where his skates landed. And I think he left them. I'm pretty sure he just went to Razors and picked up a new pair of skates later on that week. But someone might have found a pair of Brian Shima's rollerblades on that bridge if you were a lucky skater walking on that bridge that day. Boom. So sick. Look at that. What a good rollerblader. And this is the spot. This is the Spruce Street Suspension Bridge. This is in the Bankers Hill neighborhood of San Diego. And this is a really long bridge that connects two sides of a neighborhood. San Diego neighborhoods are all canyons. It's like Finger Canyon. So this is like a 375-foot long bridge. It's like a 70 feet high. It was built in 1912. It's a pretty cool old bridge. And of course, what do? We go and we skate it. You know, leave it to us. So this is definitely an gnarly spot. It's dangerous.
Yeah, it does look good.
That's the 4x4 shirt I was thinking about. That I was talking about earlier. The Brian Shima Clean Up the Industry shirt I designed off a photo.
Louise, he almost cut his head off.
Yep. That's okay. So this session is being shot by Johnny Donahoe. Johnny Donahoe was the lead photographer at Daily Bread magazine. He was the photo editor, and very sadly, he passed away about almost 2 years ago now. And you know, rest in peace, Johnny. He was a great dude. You're gonna see him in some of these videos, and you'll see him on my Patreon channel on some of the bonus videos. The next episode of The Vault, he's on every single shoot. So a lot of these photos, or a lot of these spots you've seen in Daily Bread magazine, and they were shot by Johnny. So he was a great photographer. I really can't believe this is such an artist spot, and just to skate it over and over again. And then he's grabbing it, and it's like metal wires, and look at that. Lucky he doesn't like splinter himself or burn himself. Super sick. It's also been in a different clip I have. If you see that little sign down there, it's at an angle. Someone tried to grind up it and then roll into the sign. I forgot who it was, but hopefully I'll find that tape eventually. And I've been having a lot of trouble with these tapes. I logged like 150 tapes, been a couple hundred hours logging them, and turns out that some of the tapes, the first 15 minutes, there's no audio, so I'm having to go back and log the first 15 minutes to fix the audio problem, so it's double work and kind of a pain in the butt. So I hope you guys enjoy this footage, because it's a lot of work putting it together for you guys, but I definitely enjoy watching it myself while I'm doing it, so it brings back a lot of fun memories, good times in San Diego.
Oh! That was the first time you were on that shit, dude.
So that's Jon Elliott. Some of you would know his voice, but that's John in the background talking. So good.
Oh!
Johnny said this might be the one so many times on this shoot.
That's the one, dude.
Oh, this is a very, even back then in 2003, this was a pretty upscale neighborhood. So this is one of those streets where we were very lucky the neighbors didn't call the police, because people really enjoyed calling the police in San Diego a lot. We went to court a lot for skating, and we dealt with the police a lot. And this was the prime spot where somebody would call the cops on you. But luckily this day, it was all good. Oh, God, he got tossed. So sick.
Dude, that might be the one.
There we go. Oh, last trick. Super sick. That is a wrap for episode 7 of The Vault. That was a really fun episode. It was pretty short, but there was a lot of good skating on that from Haffey and Shima, and then John got his clip in there as well. Haffey's Royale still blows my mind. Such a cool spot, such a dangerous spot. And having Johnny there shooting photos was awesome. Great shot that he took back then. That was a great air and rollerblading in San Diego, and I miss those days a lot. But it's fun to reflect and see those on these episodes. And I hope you did enjoy this episode. And if you did, make sure and hit the like button. It really helps me out when you hit the like button, when you subscribe to this channel. And if you haven't done that, you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon to be notified of all new uploads. And if you want to follow me on social media, I have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and I throw some photos on there, some other content that you won't see on YouTube. And if you do want to support this channel, You can do it a couple ways. I have a donate button in the description below, and I have the Patreon page. And like I said in the beginning, Patreon members get exclusive content that's not available on this channel. And you can check out right now my third video I ever made in 1997, America's Army, which is on the Patreon page. Link in the description below. Anyway, thanks for watching this episode of The Vault, and I will see you next time for episode 8.